Large made his bones on Wall Street. One of these fucking finance douchebags.
Correct.
I mean, you probably lived through it all. The ups, the downs, the change over to technology, the recessions, the booms, 9/11. I mean, you probably lived through one of the more volatile eras of Wall Street.
I had the benefit of seeing a couple of things, including the fall of the street, but I also had the unfortunate thing that I was never there when people were making so much fuck you money. So there's this idea that amongst Barstool guys, I'm insanely wealthy.
Oh yeah, you're rich.
Right, but I'm selling semen on the side. But I got in there at 93, straight out of college, down to the floor of the American Stock Exchange, and then I spent 25 years on the street, floor of the American, floor of the New York. Then I went upstairs down in Atlanta. I went down to Atlanta. It was my first real upstairs job with Robinson Humphrey. Came back. I spent the bulk of my career at Citigroup. That's where you and I got a little bit acquainted when I was doing Take a Report. When I got fired for Take a Report, I went to ICAP. So I bounced around. I went to ICAP. ICAP dissolved. It was the most money I ever made in a calendar year. Went from ICAP.
Give me a ballpark.
Back to
give me a ballpark.
To what?
Give me a ballpark on
I did
that
okay.
Huh?
And then I went from there to Canaccord. Canaccord laid me off. People thought that I left my job to come to Barstool.
Yeah, no.
I was laid off. I said I'm going to take a year off. So looking around, I had 2 spots I was going to go back to. That's when you reached out to me and said, hey, do you want to do like a podcast or the radio show or something?
As a guest. It was just like,
as a guest,
and we'll talk about the old blog.
Because you had asked me a couple of times beforehand, and I was like, the stakes are too high for me. I already got fired for something.
Right.
But I was in between jobs, so I went back. So now I had 2 real situations where I was going to try and go and, complete my career or continue my career, or I had you say, why don't you talk to Dave? And I had a conversation with Dave because Dave offered me a job in 2008.
Way back, yeah.
Yeah, way back when he was first building it.
And that's prior. I was 09, so that was you probably were his first option to expand to New York.
Right, and he.
So thank God you passed.
He denies all knowledge. He doesn't deny all knowledge of it. But when I went in to talk to him, he was like, "Oh yeah," because I said, "Weren't you living out of your minivan at the time?" Which I think was like a step back for him. So he was like, "Oh, I don't really remember it."
Yeah, he knows exactly what the fuck it was. The Astro van for sure.
But our conversation was very easy. He's like, "This is what we'd like you to do. Just blog, because you seem like you're a prolific blogger. Just blog. If you want to do something else, give me a number." And he made it clear, like, don't sandbag it. Let's see what it is. So I gave him a number that I thought wasn't sandbaggy, and he was very quick to say we can do that plus this. So I signed a 1-year contract in June 1st, to come on. And I remember my first day, I was on the desk, and you had me sitting next to you because I think Brendan Clancy was out.
Yeah.
And people know that our office is the end of the fucking world, right? Like, I'm still sitting at a card table outside of a bathroom.
Totally fake.
But you said, sit in my brother's seat. And even before I got there, you explained it to me like I was going to prison.
Yeah, I was like, you're in my camp. You're like,
Stick
with my guys.
If you need to hang out with me, with the Latin kings or whatever, white supremacists.
Stick with the Aryan Nation.
Yes, yeah. So I did. I kind of hung onto your belt loop. You put the Kool-Aid on my lips.
You should see the tat I made him get on his back.
Yeah, exactly. It's fucking embarrassing.
Piece, KFC across the back.
Yeah. But the first day I was there, I think Dave came over and was like, what's the plan, Kevin? And you were like, oh, I'm going to get him into the thing. He's going to probably put something out in a couple of days.
Right,
I'm going to do an intro thing.
About your intro blog.
Yeah.
I guess the choice was whether we just hit the ground running and you start writing about, tits and ass and Wall Street and things you always done, or do we do like a formal introduction? And I think I'm always very cautious of introing people because I do think you have one shot to make an impression.
Right.
It's almost like a quarterback. It's almost like a rookie quarterback though. Let's let you sit for a year and learn. And then, the other school of thought is like, if he's going to be good, he's going to be fine. Just fucking hit the ground running and go,
Right.
So certain people I think you need to really not coddle. That's maybe too negative. But let's just make sure we do it right. Other people, you can just throw them. So I was planning on, let's make sure we do it all good. And then Dave was kind of like, fuck it, just press publish.
Because I started on a Thursday maybe, and so our plan was kind of a Monday. Like, if that's what everyone
right now,
thinks
it's like a month, just to go a weekend.
Go over and everyone buy somebody donuts and do the thing. And Dave's like, you ready to write something now? I was like, of course I'm ready to write. He's like, so have something out in an hour.
Well,
so
that's the difference.
That was the first blog that I did.
Because you weren't, that was not your first day.
Yeah.
That was your
yeah.
second go round. That was technically, your I don't know, fifth year. How many years did you take a report?
Year and a half.
All right, so it wasn't that long. So I did the same thing kind of with For Sure Not, just on a much smaller level. So take a report is, that's your phrase or a Wall Street phrase?
Take a report is a Wall Street phrase. So anytime that you're working an order and you're done with an order, buy 100,000 shares of XYZ. You bought 100,000 shares XYZ at 5/8, take a report. And this is the hand signal for it, take a report. Take a report, you're done, means that you're done. So it's a good way for me to close off all my blogs, and I still use it now. Like there's always take a report.
I totally jacked it. I stole it For Sure Not. I finished every post with, whatever the topic was. Should LeBron James have gone to the Lakers? For Sure Not. Like that was how I finished every single post. And it was, Barstool and Take a Report were the two things I used to read that got me into writing.
Right.